All right, we are going to start working on our user authentication for our to-do list. This will include the user account creation feature within our to-do list, okay? So the very first thing that we want to do when we are ready to create a new feature is we're going to want to create a branch, okay? So in order to create a branch, we are going to say git checkout -b. That's to create a new branch, okay? If you already have the branch and you're just switching, you would just do git checkout, okay? But we want a new branch, so we do git checkout -b, and then we would call this user creation. Let's verify that's what we're calling our feature. Okay, so let's call it user account creation. Okay, when you're working by yourself, this isn't as necessary, but you're never really going to be working by yourself at work and never have anybody else on your code base. Or at least you very rarely will have that, okay? So because there will be multiple engineers working on the code base, whenever you split up the work and you decide, okay, you're doing feature A, I'm doing feature B, and so on, you each would go to main first, you would check out a new branch like we're doing here, okay? So I'm gonna do that. Okay, perfect. All right, clear. And then I can do my git status, git add, because I already started working on some stuff, and then git commit, and then I'm gonna say started working on user account creation, all right? And then I'm gonna do git push, and then you'll see the first time you push a new branch, it's going to tell you to use this command instead, and that is to add this branch to our GitHub. All right, perfect. So now I have a new branch on GitHub, as you can see, okay? So we're gonna work on our branch. We can go into our branch and we can go to the branch that we're working on, all right? And we can see all of our files, all right? The way that you can see what the difference is between your files on this branch and the main branch is to compare and create a pull request, all right? So I am going to say user account creation feature. That is going to be the feature that I'm working on. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to link my Trello board here, all right? Being clear is kind, so when you're working with other people, you add as much of a description as possible of what you are actually doing in this feature, okay? When you are doing this, you can add reviewers from your team. So anyone who's on this repo with me, I could say, hey, can you please review this? All right, I can add labels, what the project, all right? And a lot of times you'll have like a little form that you fill out that's set by your tech lead. All right, so I'm gonna create my pull request, all right? I'm not ready to merge yet because I'm not done with my feature, okay? But something that's kind of good when you're working with the team is if you all are working on different features and you have pull requests in, I can see now every time C Stowe's Cup is adding to her feature, which is me, right? I can go into files changed and I can go look at everything that I've done, okay? So I've added all of this, all right. I added React Router DOM. I've changed my app pretty significantly. I've added a header. I've added the login page, the sign-in page, okay? So I've already started working on the feature, but I wanted to make sure that I went back a little bit to show you guys how I would set up my Git workflow, okay? So now every time I make a commit, it's going to add my commit to my history. So here's my commit history here. So this is the commit, and here is what my commit message is, okay? So let's say I go in and I change something. Let's change something here. All right, so for example, all right, what is this running on? Okay, let's go ahead and let's say that the color I want for my name, I want it to be red. I don't actually want that, but let's just say. Okay, so now I have a change. So let's say that's all the work that I've done in this session of working on my application. I would do git status because I want to make sure I know what files I've changed. I'm like, okay, I'm good with that. So I'm going to add these changes. I'm going to then commit the changes, and I'm going to, oops, sorry, my bad. I'm going to commit the changes, and then I'm going to say what I did. Changed color of name label on sign up form. Okay? And then I'm going to push. This is pushing specifically to my user account creation branch. Okay? So if I go back and I look into my pull request, you can now see that I changed the color of my name label, which I spelled wrong, on the sign up form. So if my tech lead wants to see how everybody's doing, right, they would see all of the pull requests open, okay, for all of the members on the team. They could go in and be like, oh, okay, how's the user account creation going? Oh, this is looking good, blah, 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 right? Now, when you are done with it, you would want to add a reviewer and then merge your pull request. So if you're working on a team, you would actually have a reviewer go in and review it. You would then edit your feature based on the reviews. You'd get an approval. You'd have rules set up for like when you can merge and not. So I wouldn't actually even be able to merge. But when I'm ready, I click merge, and then what that's going to do is that's going to update my main branch with my feature. Then everyone on my team will go ahead and pull down the changes and keep on keeping on. Okay? So this is kind of an introduction to how each of your GitHub and Git workflows should start at the beginning of each week now that we're starting to work on our features. Okay? You can go ahead, and when you're going to submit your feature, this is the link that you would submit to the Coding with Callie website, so someone can actually go in and check all of your files, see what branch you're on, pull it down, and review. All right, happy coding.